Today, we're going to take a look at a report from Headset on Nevada, do a deep dive into Nevada, even though it's a smaller market in total cannabis sales. Their immense tourism industry puts them at the top of the list for cannabis sales per capita. So in this Headset report, we're going to explore sales, product categories, pricing trends, demographic data, and more. All that is coming up.
It's only entertainment.
Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. So Nevada is one of the smaller markets that Headset tracks. They had a total market value of almost 700 million, 693 million to be exact. They're sandwiched in between Oregon and Maryland and primarily driven by tourism. So despite having a relatively small number of total sales, Nevada's total sales per capita, again, in 2022 is one of the highest along with Colorado. So with a population of just over 3 million, one of the smaller states that Headset tracks, but normalizing that sales totals for population size as they near that top of the list. Tourism, again, definitely has an effect on that region. Although a relatively new emerging market, not without its issues of experiencing what everybody else is. That includes sales and pricing coming down. So total sales from January to October of last year declined 13%, and nothing new there. But Nevada sold nearly 800 million in cannabis products last year, and so I have to hurry up if they want to catch up to that. So that puts them in the category with other legacy markets experiencing some double-digit year-over-year declines, like Washington State, -13, and Colorado, -16, Oregon, -17. How does Nevada differ for their product trends? If we look at Nevada's share, a lot of the category trends they share with other markets, but then obviously some differences too. So some of those differences seem to show a stronger preference towards flower and pre-rolls, while concentrates have less sales than the rest of the market by about 3.5%. Flower pre-rolls, you can grab and go. Again, this has a big market for tourism. The folks I know who are in Nevada don't go to these stores. I've been to them. They're tourist traps, but interesting to check out nonetheless. We've mentioned in other markets like Arizona and California, other places where the category share of flower is coming down around 40%. So this is a perfect example of where flower was at 46 and now is around 42.5 and heading down. So still dominant form factor in Nevada with flower, but moving towards the average. So flower share in total sales has fallen 8.5% year over year, and that'll probably keep going down. Most of that market share is being absorbed by vape pens, so a lot more discretionary. You can use it at work, you don't smell. And so going from pre-roll to vape is kind of a maturation point, I guess, as people kind of continue to use and want to consume more during the day without judgment, if you will. Vape pens is the second largest category nationally. It grew by 5% last year in Nevada. So that's on point. Edibles is a little bit over national average, and so are pre-rolls, and that's eroding some of that flower market share. Back to the tourist traps, those are a lot of those multi-state operators. A lot of them do their thing regardless of where they're at. So there's kind of no individuality or sense of the market in Las Vegas, for example. Nevada has 102 dispensaries in total, which is pretty crazy because it's probably like 5-mile strip in Seattle. You can go to a lot. And so you've got the typical ones that are out there. They're everywhere. But the independent operators, not so much. So you're probably going to see a lot of the same things and or some of those house brands since they're vertically integrated. Some of the brands, including house brands, in 2018, we saw 268 distinct brands. And then that's increasing significantly. So they're trying to diversify, probably trying to attract different types of people. And we see that here in Washington too. So of the 440 active um, growers and brands, you see, they'll have 10 different individual products that they're trying to brand individually. So fairly common anywhere else. There's been some contraction though. They went up to Nevada saw as many as 378 brands, and then that's dipped down to about 353. So some work, some don't. I guess they just kind of figured that fail fast. Some of the top brands like flower down there is Polaris, Rhythm. Some of the beverages are Sip. Vape pen popularity is eightfold, and Canada, Cannovative, whatever, I don't know. Edibles, Wild, pre-rolls, BAM, Alternative Medicine Association, and then concentrates is Remedy. Some of the top topicals, Nordic Godless, tinctures is Camp. Some of the topicals is Indo. But how much are they selling for? Looking at the average item price and average discounts, because you have to offer a discount. Basically, COVID destroyed 420 sales. It's not the number one day anymore. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday is offering 30% at the store down the street from my house. Average discounts are about 20%. I think that's too low. In order to draw anybody in on 420, you need to offer 50 to 75% off, in my opinion. Otherwise, people aren't going to get off their couch or whatever to go in when they can get 30 to 40% off. My brother-in-law was just telling me yesterday he's able to get vape pens for $10, 40% off at a discount retailer. So when we're looking at pricing, we can see that average item price coming way down. And even in Nevada, it shrunk 12% since 2021. And so they're experiencing some serious price compression along with the rest of the market. Nothing new there, but this year it's already 16% higher than the rest of the US. So they can still have some room to kind of come down to meet that national average. And then with discounts, you're seeing the discounts have grown a little bit, just maybe 7%. So some of the discounts went from about 13 to 20%. And I think they'll continue to go up. Looking at average item price, over the last year or whatever, you can see some of that price compression falling across most categories, with the exception of capsules and topicals and beverages that equalized price or cost per single unit. It's if you look at beverages, for example, the only category that's seen the price per milligram increase in the last year, almost 30%. Tincture and sublinguals, on the other hand, down almost 40. Flowers down almost 25. So their price per unit is obviously shrinking or going down. How much are people buying? That's kind of this basket analysis. When you look at other baskets around the U.S., that margin is gone down a little bit. So Nevada lost about 12.5% of its average basket size. So people are spending almost 13% less than they were. So that's about $10 per visit per person on average. That adds up significantly. So falling prices and growing discounts are lowering those profits for retailers. What do those retailers actually want, though, when they go into the stores? Who are they? What do they want? Looking at who they are, the typical person in Nevada buying is millennials, and that's what, 25 to 57, I guess, is the age for that. They're slightly higher representative of female customers across all age groups when you compare other regions. So, a lot more females in Nevada smoking. Another unique thing about Nevada, they're kind of pushing for lounges right before COVID. They wanted to do alcohol and all this stuff. So 3 years of COVID kind of gave people the notion to maybe just dial that down a little bit and then just get it out. So this will be the first year where we'll see a lot. And I think they're going to have like 40 consumption lounge licenses issued this year, and or maybe 45, whatever. So it'd be quite a few. So that'll be interesting to see kind of how that rolls out. How do you make profit? If it's one thing for advertising or selling your own thing, that's one obvious way to make money. But the cannabis lounges I've seen have all failed because, in Oregon, you couldn't serve food and coffee, whatever. So it's basically vending machine style food. So then it's memberships, or basically they need to figure it out. You can have events and you can do all these other events and bring people in. But it'll be interesting to see what Vegas does to kind of generate revenue and keep this business model open if you can't sell direct to the consumer. Nevada's a good petri dish experiment to take a look at how some of the pain points in the industry likely to converge on the consumer demand, falling prices, increased discounting that puts retailers in a tough position, looking at more pricing compression coming out, and what is those silver linings? How are people going to survive? You just kind of have to come back to the Talking Hedge and find out. With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.
Thanks for listening to today's show. To check out more great cannabis podcasts, go to podconnects.com. Here's a preview of one of our other shows.
Hey there, my name is Leah Babrudi, and I'm the founder and host of Cannachicks Podcast, where I discuss cannabis, psychedelics, and other natural medicines. I not only interview people who use them as treatment for different conditions, but also the entrepreneurs who share their knowledge on how they built their businesses. If this sounds interesting to you, give my show a listen. I'm sure you'll learn something that'll surprise you.